Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? Thursday, August 20th, and this is your daily financial news. I just checked the other day, and we've been doing this daily show for almost a year now. So we are committed every day, Christmas, Father's Day, birthdays, doesn't matter. We're doing this. I get up early and enjoy doing this for you. So do me a favor. If you are watching these daily financial news, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. We are on the march to 9,000 as of this morning. We need 66 more to get to that milestone as we go towards 10,000. And again, I have a lot of fun doing these, so hopefully you enjoy them. Hopefully you get some value out of them. So today, it's Thursday, continuing the trend of talking about new unemployment claims. And unfortunately, today we went above 1 million. Actually 1,106,000 new unemployment claims. That reverses a trend, at least a small trend. I actually don't know if you really call it a trend. We were under 1 million last week. We were flirting with it the week before. So again, we're going to have to see what next week brings. Was this a blip? Was this some kind of weekly artificial data, or are we paying the price for PPP running out, unemployment claims, all that stuff running out? You've heard me for the last 2 weeks or so talking about the stimulus being a bridge over a chasm that has been half built. I am afraid that this is one of the early indicators showing just how bad it could be, right? The PPP program would have just ended. And maybe there are some small employers who are like, okay, guys, I tried to carry you for 90 days. No more money. You got to do what you got to do to survive. So pretty scary what's coming, I think. I still can't believe Congress is on recess. Shame on them. But, we shall see. The one ray of little twinkle of good news, as I've been talking about probably for the last 3 months, so let's call it 15, 16 weeks, is continuing claims. New unemployment claims suck, clearly. But if we get continuing claims also ramping, that's really bad. And as of this morning, continuing claims fell. And it fell by over 500,000. So it went down to 14.8. It fell 636,000. So while new unemployment claims 1.1, so I think we're 23 weeks out of 24 over 1 million. God, that hurts to say, doesn't it? Man, terrible. Continuing claims fell under 15 million. So we shall see what's going on. Another couple of things that we took today is Intel. Intel, if you don't know, we have heard what we heard from Intel is not good news, right? AMD's kicking their ass. NVIDIA's showing up in the data centers now. Apple's building their own chips. Pretty much Intel has been losing all over here recently. Probably their CEO is getting backed into a corner. So what does he announce? A stock buyback, of course. I'm going to spend $10 billion of cash buying back our own stock, reducing the float because it's cheap. Come on. We're smarter than that. You're trying to inflate the stock price. You probably have some personal bogeys, or your executives do, around stock price. You can't find a better way to use $10 billion, like figuring out how to build a fab that knows how to make the latest chip. Shame on you. That's lazy thinking. But it is what it is, and probably to be expected given what we have seen in executives over the last couple of decades. So kind of rinse and repeat, unfortunately. A big turn in the market happened yesterday afternoon. I don't know if you saw it, but basically it was all on the Fed minutes. They were released for the last meeting. And let's just say the Fed, Powell and his boys, or his team, they're not very bullish on the reopening. They have a lot more data than you and I. They think it's going to be kind of sloppy, and they called out multiple times in the minutes that they can't do it alone. Now, they didn't explicitly say, Congress, get off your ass, but That's what they were saying. Get a deal done, help people. We've built the bridge halfway, don't fail. Um, at the time that this meeting happened, they were still negotiating, so it did have a hopeful tone. I would love to see what the Fed thinks today with this nonsense that's going on in Congress. But yeah, it's you can't read those minutes, appreciate that no deal is done, and think good things. Not good. Not good. I don't know if you watched this yesterday, but there was a moment where Apple ticked above $2 trillion in market cap. I think it is amazing. They went from breaking 1 trillion to 2 trillion in 21 weeks. It's amazing. The whole time the Dow was open, we didn't have $1 trillion company until this year, I believe. Did Amazon do it last year? No, I think this year. And now it took Apple 21 weeks to go from 1 trillion to 2 trillion. That's amazing. That's just amazing. A couple other things. Airbnb, they filed to go public, right? They filed some paperwork with the SEC. It was a confidential filing, meaning we don't see any revenue numbers. They did say that they booked 1 million nights in July, which is interesting. It's the first time they exceeded 1 million nights since March. So what is that? April, May, June. So in month 4. My thinking about Airbnb's IPO is they are desperate. I think I read a month ago where their valuation pre-health event was, I think it was 28 billion, and then their latest round came in at 16 billion. I think they are a company that needs to go public. I don't know. I almost said something dangerous. I'm wondering, WeWork, remember we talked about them like 9 months ago? WeWork had to go public. They were running out of cash. They couldn't pay their bills. I'm wondering Airbnb could be in the same situation. I don't know. They're probably a little stronger than WeWork, but I don't know how much stronger. So I think they've got to go public. We'll see. I think they're going to try to do it this year. This going on. I don't know if you saw this, but again, back to the point that I think most of the pain is going to be in commercial. And I do think the banks are in trouble. I don't think it's residential trouble like last time. People want to compare 2020 with 07, 08, 09, and you can't. 07, 08, 09 was bad debt on single family because Wall Street got greedy and we just spun up an engine doing no nonsense mortgages. Today it's supposedly good loans, 65% LTV in the commercial segment that are going bust. Turned out to be, a hotel that, you run it at 80% occupancy and it cash flows fine. It doesn't cash flow great at 20% occupancy. So the hotel commercial paper, it's unbelievable. 30 days late or more. Guess how much? 30 days or more. How much hotel paper is late? Almost 25%. Almost 1 in 4 hotels are late, at least 30 days late. 23.4% to be exact. That debt, that is going to hurt some commercial banks. Now, I expect extend and pretend. I expect probably some municipalities letting hotels go condo or something like that. But they are, the opportunities I think are fairly certain going to be in hotels, maybe big city apartments. I don't think it's going to be residential. I think the move from the cities to the suburbs is so great. I think the move from renting to owning is so great that I don't think you're going to see single families really miss a beat, except in some locations, which I've talked about ad nauseum. American Airlines is actually halting service to, 15 small cities. This is what you need to do if you're an airline. You need profitable flights. You need to not have unprofitable flights. You need to stop burning cash. And there's an estimate now that air traffic will not hit 2019's peak until 2023. Pretty amazing, if you ask me. Boeing, oh my goodness, Boeing has I'll call it a twinkle of good news today. They sold two 737 Maxes. The plane that unfortunately had those couple of tragic events and has been grounded for over a year. They sold the first two since last November to a Polish carrier called Interair. Interesting. Another thing on the American front, 40% of Americans can't survive a month on their savings. That's just tragic beyond belief. My hope coming out of this event is this has been long enough to change people's behavior, and we continue the trend of saving and stopping speculative consumption. One could hope. We'll see. And then Taco Bell, just before I came up, released a rendering of their new stores that they want to roll out. And they're basically significantly smaller footprints. They basically removed all but a couple of tables for dine-in. Much smaller footprint, but 2 or 3 drive-through lanes. When you look at something like that, you think innovative, cool idea. I look at that and go, great for today. Does that play in a decade? Probably does, because they're going to use apps and all of that. So I think you're going to see a lot more of that, where fast food chains focus on drive-through and smaller footprints, which means if you're going to triple net buildings and things of that nature, that's an opportunity for you to go look at. And then lastly, the big one for me today is just another sign that California is in trouble. I don't know if you've heard of it. This company is flies below the radar. It tries to. It's a company called Palantir. It is a company that focuses on big data and security. It is looking to go public via direct listing in September, so right around the corner. You know what they did? They just moved their headquarters from Silicon Valley, Palo Alto, California, to Denver. One of their executives is Peter Thiel, who is in the news a lot, big Silicon Valley investor who struck it gold a couple of different times. He also left the Bay Area. He went out of state, no reason to live here. So again, why this is important for California is, again, Palantir has filed to go public. Their employees are likely sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars in stock in RSUs, and they're basically telling their employees, get out. They do have offices throughout Palo Alto, but according to the article, they are all empty. So again, Palantir is like, oh, sorry, California, you're not going to get that tax revenue when we go public. We don't like what you're doing. We are out of here. And Peter Thiel did this on purpose. He is against Mr. Newsom. He doesn't like how he's running the state. So Peter is not only left himself, he's a big taxpayer, but he's taking his chips from his private company out of the state before it goes public. And my question is, who's next? If you're a pre-IPO company and you've just filed, why not move? Why not, right? Save your employees some money. Do you need to be in the Silicon Valley if the offices aren't used? I don't know. So lots of stuff going on. Again, I'm looking for speeches from the Democratic convention. If you see any that you liked, I'd like to watch them. I don't generally watch these conventions, but this election is one I hope turns into, who provides a better future, who is hopeful. So far, all I've gotten is Joe's a decent guy and he's not Trump. It's kind of like that prevent defense. I haven't really seen anything of hope other than I'm not him. So again, if I've missed something, and it's totally possible I have, please let me know which speech I should watch, and I will do that, because I want to smile at the end of the day. Yeah, it's going to be a rough 90 days before the election, I'm afraid, which is doesn't do good for a guy who thinks of the world as half full versus half empty. It's interesting. So again, lots of stuff going on. Always interesting talking with you. I think I got a couple ideas for some videos or live streams I'll do later in the day, just impromptu. I want to go revisit that first video I ever did on YouTube when I was sitting on my couch talking about financial independence. It's been a couple of years, so I think I want to go revisit that video and talk about why financial independence is possible, but it takes work. So, all right, everybody, take care of yourself. Have fun. Bye.